Welcome back to Skooma Time. Today I'll be talking about something near and dear to my heart, and that is the overdevelopment of rural areas. Some of you all maybe experience the same thing where you live, and quite frankly, it's kind of annoying. In today's video, I'm going to show you that a local farm was sold to a development firm out of New York. They've probably never set foot here before. Maybe they have, who knows, but most of the time they probably haven't, and they just, buy up farms with no regards for whether the infrastructure could handle it. Our roadways on this particular area are very narrow, and with the recent growth in town, they've become, a little strenuated as far as the stop sign that you roll into. It's starting to back up, and not to mention the waiting time to get an appointment with your medical provider. I know for me personally, my doctor appointments are always at a minimum 4 weeks out now. You know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, it might be 2 weeks at the max. But usually I would be able to be seen within a week. Obviously for emergencies, they do have 6-day appointments, but just a regular checkup is at a minimum 4 weeks out now. Small town problems, sure, but I don't think that cities and local municipality government should be selling out farms to developers while we still have 40 plus homes on the market, which I can show you here on Zillow. I don't understand the point of building an extra, I think this place said up to 300 homes. I don't know, that sounds like a lot. But maybe they're on quarter acre lots, in which case 87 acres would easily fill that. So we'll take a look at some things here, and I'll point out the things I don't like, and hopefully we can come up with some solutions. What are the things that are causing this? A lot of the time I believe that it is, it's it's a multi-pronged attack. For instance, we have large firms such as BlackRock and Vanguard who have trillions in assets, so buying $5 million farm is a drop in the bucket to them. How many of you are running around the house looking for a lost 50 cents? That's how they probably feel. Like $5 million to them is 50 cents to us. And so they have an interest in things like open borders and bringing in millions of non-citizens to fill up the current supply of homes. And what does that do? It drives up the demand for new homes and the price for existing homes, whether it's to buy or to rent. It skyrockets because immigrants are taking up most of the vacant homes. If they say 20 million, or let's just say 10 million came in under the Biden administration, of those 10 million, let's say, that's 2 million homes. That's if you divide that by 50 states, there's a lot of homes that U.S. citizens could be renting or buying that are off the market now. And that kind of forces, developers to build new homes for the current demand. And it drives up prices. That's why you don't really have any quote unquote starter homes anymore for local young folks, young adults in local areas, because they get listed on these websites, and you have firms in New York City coming in and just plopping down $200,000 like it's nothing. And for a young 24-year-old, that's going to be difficult to find, to secure a loan for. And driving up the price through by using immigrants is wrong on many levels. And so it's just kind of a shame. It's kind of sad to see it happening. And they also do it without any concern for the environmental impact. And I'm not talking about the leftist climate hoax, where they want everybody driving electric cars and using wind power, but the actual environmental impact, you know, increased flood potentials. When you have a field that's used to absorbing 100%, of its surface is absorbing rainwater, and once you build in, houses with their foundations and the roads and sidewalks and driveways, you're eliminating a large portion of the permeable ground, and so you increase flooding and certainly increase polluted runoff coming off the houses, into the gutters, into the soil, off the roads and driveways, and those drain into the local tributaries and streams, out to the bays. I mean, it's just a giant mess that they never think about or discuss. And also disruption to the local ecosystem. I mean, the local flora and fauna are taking a massive hit. Where I live, we have massive invasive species, such as the spotted lanternfly. That's actually coming to my area. I've personally killed 5 of them in my garage this year after never seeing them before. So those are the environmental impacts that they never really seem to talk about or focus on. And, it's really bothersome to me. I do believe it's important to keep our country. There's a lot of unoccupied homes or homes for sale within the town limits, existing homes. Like I said, this example that I have here shows at least 40 plus homes in town that are ready to go for sale now. And they're actually priced much higher than they should be because there's a lot of illegal immigrants, non-U.S. citizens, taking up the other homes that would otherwise be vacant. So, what are some of the solutions that we could find? For one, well, we can remove the illegals to increase the supply in homes, which would also decrease the cost of homes. We can, stop allowing large out-of-state businesses from buying up farmland. I mean, that to me seems like, everybody is just moved by money, but in, some situations you're going to have to say no. You're going to have to say, hey, we don't want these to be overdeveloped. We need to widen our roads, put in some traffic lights, figure out, solutions to the current problems we have. Also consider adding some more, medical facilities, like some offices, medical offices, so that, the wait times aren't, a month out to be seen. And before we go adding, a development with 300 proposed homes. Another way is to, create crowdfunding sites. It's really probably the only way that the people can fight back against some of these corporations. I mean, you'll never outbid them, but I believe that if, a farmer's asking $5 million for a farm, and there's a crowdfunding source that can pay $5 million for the farm, I'm sure the farmer would sell it to them because you can do things with the farm then. And my suggestion would be to return the farm to natural woodlands and wildlife, so that, the trees over time could clean the soil from decades of pesticides, and it would, clean the groundwater, filter the groundwater going into our drinking water supplies, and filter the groundwater draining into our streams and tributaries. And it'd give a place for the local wildlife, a little more room for them to roam, and, it just keeps them safe, lets them grow without, pushing them further and further into who knows where. I mean, we're slowly running out of woods where I live. So those are some of the things that bother me about this. If you agree, please, comment in the comments below. And even if you disagree, tell me why. I mean, some people might like the idea of just continued growth, but I feel like my town, and probably yours as well, have a lot of vacant homes that could be sold and refurbished and reused, and we could, keep the farms, or if they don't want them to be farms anymore, we purchase them and return them to wildlife, and then you could do a 199-year lease with the local or state government. One idea could be to donate the land to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services, who can manage the lands for wildlife conservation and habitat restoration. I mean, there's a lot of ideas that can be done. Ultimately, something has to change, or they're just simply going to keep developing and developing and developing until we're all just streets and houses. It's too much. So, thank you for watching this video. I like to end all my videos with a patriotic theme. So, I'll go ahead and ask you now. Do you know your Third Amendment right? The Third Amendment. No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house, without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law.